Hey everybody, it's Kelsey with another scrapbooking process video. Happy July 4th to all my American buddies. You might hear some fireworks still going on in the background. My neighbors are still having some fun. Happy belated Canada Day to all my Canadian people. So this layout is going to be basically a 180 from the last one. So instead of that high contrast graphic look, we're going to do lots of layers, a lot of stuff that blends together. These are the layouts I love. I love doing super layered layouts. So I needed this one after the other one looked so bare compared to what I normally do. So right now I'm just matting the photo in some rose gold foil. That's just a plain foil sheet that I got from Hobby Lobby. Everything else is Prima marketing products, so I got all of that from my local scrapbooking store, Paper Dreams. They are super awesome. Whenever they stock up on Prima paper, I'm always in there. So this is a Love Clippings paper pad. The other one was Wild and Free. I'm just pulling out any scraps I think I might use in the layering. And you'll see me ink the edges of everything. That's just the Ranger's Distress Oxide and Vintage Photo. Even though all these collections really go well together, I feel like inking the edges of everything just makes it more cohesive. And that is a really nice brown that's really subtle, but it adds a really nice touch to everything. So those are my base layers, and I'm kind of just going to go through all the scraps and add from there. I'm only using a little bit of glue because I'm not sure if I'm going to have layers in between those or not. So I don't really want to stick it down and then have to tear it off again. But I'm adding those pieces to either side, and then I'm going to start building upwards because right now all those layers really look horizontal and I want to add some vertical elements. I really like the contrast of that sky paper. That's from Wild and Free. But like I said, I really wanted this to be low contrast, everything to feel kind of light, and now it went together. So even though there's a lot of layers, it's not too overwhelming. I like both sides of that pattern paper, so I was trying to decide which side to use, and I was like, oh, I can just use both sides. So that piece is going to go top and bottom, and then the opposite side of that paper is going to be a vertical strip. There we go, and I'm going to ink that as well. Someone asked me why I don't use a glue runner. I have a glue runner, but I go through them so quickly, and the refills are like $5 for 2 or 3 rolls. The glue I use, just that roll of double-sided tape, I get 5 of those for $1. So it's either get the tape runner refills, 2 or 3 of them for $5, or get 15 of those rolls for $5. So that's why I go with those. I thought it would bother me having to pull the backing off, but it really doesn't, so I'd rather save the money. There we go. So now I'm going to add the texture paste just around where the photo is going to go, and then the upper right hand corner, because I know I'm going to want to add some layers up there to balance the design. You can hardly see it on the video, but it's a really pretty subtle detail in person, and I like how subtle it is. So I'm just drying that with my heat gun. That's just a Heidi Swap heat gun. There we go. So that's another Cambridge doily. This is the same one I used in my other video. I'm just going to cut the part that's covered so I can use it in another area. I really like how that looks against the background. I love using the doilies and vellum in highly layered projects because they're light enough to where it doesn't drag it down. Sometimes when you just keep adding paper, it becomes really heavy. I find using those 2 elements keeps it light. And that horse's name is ATM. She's my friend's horse. She let me ride her while I was in school, so that's just why it's the hashtag ATM. I have a few other pages about riding this horse, so I'm not going to end up doing any journaling on this page. I just don't think it's necessary. I kind of feel like the photo and the title and the stickers I end up using say it all. And that's the Lavender collection. So the collections I use, they're all Prima marketing. The main ones are the Cherry Blossom and Amelia Rose. But that sticker sheet is the Lavender collection. And then, like I said earlier, I used little bits from the 8x8 paper pads from Love Clippings and Wild and Free. So now I'm just trying to add some more layers by tucking those stickers in every little place I can find. And then I'll start a few. They're going to be smaller clustered areas because there's so much layering. I didn't really feel a need to build it up too much. Now I'm going through my die cuts. I have to add some hearts. I really love using those foiled sheets to just use die cuts or punches to kind of spread that metallic around the page without it being overwhelming. The Cherry Blossom collection is really nice because it has that matte gold finish, so it's metallic without really being in your face. It's a really pretty subtle metallic. But I like those bright pops of the rose gold that those little die cuts spread around the page. So I'm just tucking in those die cuts every little place, and now I'm going to start the upper right hand corner. I'm just going to try to pull up some of the elements I used in the larger paper layers up into that top layer. I always have problems with that banner die cut with my small die cutting machine, so I'm going to end up going to my We Are Memory Keepers Evolution die cutting machine, which is that big boy. This machine is really nice because it has custom settings for you to do a lot with it. It's brand new to me though, so I haven't quite learned the settings, so it took me a minute to get the right one. Just adding some more ink to that cluster. I just love how the vellum adds a layer without covering it up. So you can see the background and that texture paste through it. And I just felt like I needed to bring up one more paper that was from the other layered area so that it seemed cohesive. There we go. So all I did there was I put that glue over the vellum, and then I just placed glue on the back side of the vellum where that paper was so you wouldn't be able to see it through. That's the only tricky thing with vellum is, of course, it's clear, so any glue you use on the underside you can see, so you have to be strategic where you place it. I'm just going to add a few more of those lavender stickers up in that corner. Sorry about my head. Holy frizzies. It's very hot and humid in Georgia right now, so my hair is a little insane, so I apologize. I don't know where I went. There I am. I'll be back in a second. I was unclogging my Nuvo drops, so final touches, I'm just going to add some Bubblegum Blush Nuvo drops to a few areas, and then I'm done. So pretty simple layout as far as embellishing and everything, just lots and lots of layers, and I just love that look. So thank you again for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your July 4th, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks.